Hi, this is Karen Berka, host of Branson Radio Live. If this COVID thing is getting to you, I think I just might have the right antidote for you. I have decided to post my Branson Radio Live shows on YouTube for all of our loyal listeners and visitors that come to Branson from all over the world. I'm hoping these YouTube posts will bring you some joy while seeing your favorite entertainers again, with lively interviews and some music they'll perform for you, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So please enjoy the shows, but don't forget to comment in the comments section. Tell me what you like and who you would like to see. This is my way of just sharing Branson Radio Live with you, some of the old shows, and bringing in some new when the time is right, once we heal from all this COVID. And so when things get back to normal, until then, I'll keep posting updates on Branson. So please enjoy the shows, and God bless you. Stay safe and healthy until we meet again.
Good afternoon from Branson, Missouri. From the Uptown Cafe, it's Branson Radio Live. We're doing another show right here from Branson Uptown Cafe. It's another beautiful day after all that rain. Yeah. Hey, we have a fun-filled hour and a half with our host, Karen Berka. Karen, say hi to him right quick.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody know you're in the house today. She's engaged in live interviews with Branson's old stars right here at the Uptown Cafe. Also, our producer, James Wilson. And we have our new sound man, the newest guy aboard, Steve Boldy. He's our audio engineer slash sound man slash sweeping floor. No, I'm kidding. Alrighty, just around his feet. All right here from the Uptown Cafe. And it's free to the public. Yeah, free. We like that word, don't we, Karen? Definitely. We're going to, and James, he'll recognize our sponsors. Hey, our guest this week is, it's right here. I know it is. We have Jimmy Rochelle, right? Yeah, Jimmy plays a saxophone. Actually, it's a baritone and a tenor sax. Tenor and alto. I always get them mixed up. He's going to be on the show today, and he has a show called The Rock and Roll, here to stay, the 50s and 70s and 60s. Yeah, right here in Branson, Missouri. He does a great job. I've seen him perform. He's excellent. And we have a special guest in the house. They just kind of popped in, so we're going to bring him up. Her name is Elissa Gliss, and she has a youth group with her. They're from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and they're on a youth trip. So yeah, we're going to have them up in just a few minutes. So, all right. We hope you're having a good day, folks. So with no further ado, put your hands together right here at the Uptown Cafe. Your host, Karen Berka.
Welcome to the Uptown Cafe and Branson Radio Live. We are so thrilled to bring the show to you today. It's a beautiful day in the Ozarks, and we got a lot of things going on in this town. You know, Gary, we have got Kathy Rigby. She's doing Peter Pan. Any of you seen that show yet? Oh, she's over at the mansion, and it is awesome. If you get the chance to go see that show, it is really great. And Kathy is going to be on the show here probably next week.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got some other great entertainers. You know, they had the Hughes brothers on the other day.
They're great. I love those guys. They're so funny.
Weren't they fantastic?
But you know, I can say about Kathy Rigby, she flies by the seat of her pants.
Yeah, she sure does.
I just went over my head. I don't know why that went through my head. I'm a musician.
Well, I want to tell you some up-and-coming guests, Gary. We've got, Cassandra. They say that she's the voice of an angel here in Branson, Missouri, and she entertains over at the Americana Theater on Highway 76.
How long has she been here?
And she hasn't been here all that long, but boy, she's sure making a name for herself in this town. Her name is Cassandra, and the Brett Family Singer is going to be coming on, and we've got a lot of things, and also the full cast for Rock and Roll. We've got one of them here today to perform for us, but Don Solis does a tribute to Elvis, and you've got the Red Hot and Blue ex-singers that have come over to join the show, and they're going to be performing as well.
The Red Hot Blue, they have been here how many years?
Well, they were here for quite some time, but I think they closed up shop, so the singers had to go and regroup. And so...
They're still there, yeah. They come and go.
Yeah, they do. You know, it's kind of like a merry-go-round. But you know what? I think everybody finds their niche. There's always a door open to somebody. There's so much talent here, you know, and so much opportunity here in Branson, Missouri. So we're excited about our guest coming up. And Gary, you know, there's so many things to do here in Branson. We've got a unique combination of live entertainment and traditional family fun, from big stars to big splash. Branson is a destination for all ages. And, you know, we've got, how many shows? We've got over 100 shows.
Over 130, I
yeah.
think. Yeah,
and
like
about 53 theaters here in Branson, Missouri.
And each one of them have like three or four shows a day going.
Yeah. Did you know at a given time there are, 55,000 cars that go up and down this 76 strip. And I'm going to take a look at the audience, and you know, some are from Arkansas. We know that. And the guy in the yellow there sitting there, where are you folks from? Oh, my gosh. From Des Moines, Iowa, my hometown. Oh, excuse me. I've got to go over there. Excuse me just a second. Hey. We're going to keep the show going here. And some people from my hometown, Des Moines, Iowa, are here. And they used to hear me sing where?
The Pendulum Lounge. Many, many years ago. We won't say how many.
Okay. What's your name?
Denny Cattell.
Oh, okay. I remember that name. And this is your wife?
Jan
Cattell. And so, my goodness, did you look me up, or you just found me by accident?
Found you. I'd love to see you sing Half Breed again.
Oh my gosh, yes, I do that. Was that your favorite?
That was my favorite.
Well, how long do you get to stay in Branson?
A couple days.
A couple days. Well, we'll visit after the show. Thanks for coming in. It's great to see you. And we got some people back here in the audience at the Uptown Cafe. And who are you, sir?
Charles Loftus.
And where are you from?
We're from Howe, Texas.
Oh my goodness, how many hours drive is that away?
It's about an 8-hour drive up here.
Have you ever been to Branson before?
Several times.
Several times. What do you like about Branson, Missouri?
Shows.
What shows have you seen?
We're going to see the Presleys tonight and Noah tomorrow.
Oh, that's wonderful. If you've never seen the Noah and Presley, I mean, the Noah show is fabulous, and the Presleys are always great. What shows do you like to see, ma'am?
like Ball Knobbers, Pierce Sarah, and the two he mentioned.
Well, what do you like about the Bald Knobbers and Pierce Arrow?
The comedy, Floyd the Plumber, and Stubbs, and whatever.
They got a good cast over there. Did you know this is their 50-year anniversary?
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have them celebrate with us here in a couple of weeks, so that'll be fabulous. What's your name, honey?
Bethany.
Bethany. And have you done anything here in Branson that you love to do? What have you done? Have you seen shows? Oh, you just got here. Well, you can't say. What do you want to see? You want to see Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's quiet. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. What would you like to do here in Branson while you're here?
See the Presleys and swim.
And swim. Boy, I'll tell you what, they got some splish-splashing going on here. And have you been to Silver Dollar City yet?
No.
Are you planning to go to Silver Dollar City? Not this time. Well, we're glad to have you here. Thanks for being with us. And as Gary said, we've got a group of young ladies here and a family that says God first. So who wants to talk first? You got a French fry in your mouth, so you probably don't want to talk. Where are you folks from?
Hot Springs.
Hot Springs. And why God first on your shirts? What does that mean?
It's a real change that we need.
I'm going to go to Mama. I think it's Mama before she takes another bite. Tell us about the group that's with you today. What's your name?
Our group is New Hope Missionary Baptist Youth Group, and we're from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And we're just up here on kind of a fun trip and just kind of a reward because we do lots of mission work, and we've raised some money, and we want to reward the kids for what they've done.
Well, if you've got a cause and you want to tell the globe about it, why don't you let us know what we can do to help you?
Well, we have two mission works that we support, one in Tanzania, Africa, and one in Mongolia. And really, we just raise money to try to witness to people to let them know about God.
And if anybody wants to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Well,
Do you have a telephone number?
Sure. It's 501-262-4037, and that's the church phone.
Okay, please repeat that.
501-262-4037.
And the name of your group again?
New Hope Missionary Baptist Church Youth Group.
Let's make them all feel welcome, everybody, here in Branson, Missouri at the Uptown Cafe. Boy, you know, we get a mix of people from all over the world here in Branson, Missouri. And we're so happy that David Good and his wife have provided us the privilege to come here on this Uptown stage that's so beautiful. And Gary, you've performed on this stage many times.
Yes, I have.
Let's talk about your career just a little bit. You have done a lot of things in the music industry, and we have a new audience every day.
We do.
Yeah, so let's kind of...
Then we have repeat audiences.
Well, sometimes we do.
Which makes me feel good. And,
yes,
and makes you feel
absolutely.
good.
That's what you need.
Absolutely.
You know, and we're excited about that because, Gary, you've got a wealth of talent. You play banjo, you play guitar, you play bass guitar, and you're doing a show over in Arkansas right now. You want to tell us about that?
Eureka Springs, called Pine Mountain Jamboree, and Mike and Dale are the kind of the stars. They own they don't own the theater, but they're leasing the theater to do their shows in it. We do 6 nights a week. We do a pre-show, and the guys in the band is Walt Morrison and Buster Sharp and Acra.
You know, you got to get those guys up here to be on the show because I haven't seen them for a long time, and I'm so busy I never get the chance to see anybody. I'm constantly getting guests for the show, and they are multi-talented people, the people you're working with.
So guys.
when you go down to your show in Eureka, what can you expect to see on your show?
That's a loaded question. People.
Talent-wise.
Oh, you mean in the band?
On the show.
Oh, yes. Oh, we have Scott Dubree, he plays saxophone. You ever heard of Scott? He's down in, you need to go see him. The guy's good. He's a comedian. But he plays rhythm guitar and plays bass guitar. And just picked up the bass guitar last year and started playing it.
Yeah, now see, this is the thing. I mean, your career, let's talk about your career. You know, I mean, you've done a lot of things and performed with a lot of entertainers. Why don't you tell our audience who you've performed with?
Well, I first started out working at Dog Pets USA with Mike Bishop, who was the entertainment director, and got to meet a lot of celebrities that came through, like Barbara Fairchild, and then moved on to Houston, Texas, and met the Bob Wills Texas Playboys, Johnny Gimbel, and worked with Gene Watson, and there goes my mind.
Well, Bob Wills, and Gene Watson, he's coming. Is he coming to town? I think he is, isn't he?
He probably is. Yeah, I think so.
Not too far.
But Floyd Tillman, I got to meet Floyd Tillman, and I opened for him. I opened for the Hank Williams senior band, the Ghost Band. I guess you could call them the Ghost Band. But a lot of the guys with Hank Williams were still with him. And so that was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It was right outside of Baton Rouge, and performed there, opened for them. So I met a lot of people. And you know what's funny is the Dixie Chicks. I knew those girls before they knew each other. In other words, I knew them separately before they became the Dixie Chicks. Laura Lynch. Wherever you are out there, Laura Lynch, I don't know I'd love to get a hold of you, So are you out there?
So talk about the Dixie Chicks. We like the inside scoop.
Oh, yeah.
If you will.
Well, Laura, I met her at a bluegrass festival, and we became good friends. And so she's just a beautiful girl. And, the thing is she was a fantastic singer. But I remember we were watching a bluegrass festival. We were at a restaurant. And she looks at me, she says, am I as good as her? Or she's so good, and I don't think I'm that good. I'm thinking, Laura, you're you should have more confidence in yourself.
So she had some insecurity.
She did, very much. But she's a beautiful girl, played bass, upright bass, and sang and played rhythm guitar. And
so do you know how the girls got together?
Well, I don't really know. I just know that I don't know how they met, but I met the other two at a bluegrass festival, the Strange Family Festival, and right outside of Texarkana. And they were, the group was the Midnight Express, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so, but right after that, that's when they became a group. And actually, I saw them on a McDonald's commercial when I came back to Houston. And then,
and that's something. Then life went on. So now, with your career, Gary, you've met a lot of great entertainers along the way and done pre-shows for those entertainers. And you wound up, you're from Texas, but you wound up here in Branson. Now, why did you wind up here in Branson?
Well, I went to Houston and tried to do my career there, but ended up working, and it was what you call the weekend.
Day job?
A day
J-O-B?
job, yeah, J-O-B.
Yeah.
And I... what we were called the Weekend Warriors.
Yeah.
So, and I had bands, and I was working in a studio, and met a guy in the studio. He was a songwriter, and he was working out of the studio, and I was playing bass and banjo and, just doing a utility guy for the studio. I'm trying to think of what you call me whenever you work in a studio. What would you call that?
A picker.
Steve? Jimmy, what would you call it? Somebody who works in a studio. Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Like utility person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I met Doug Supinall, and Doug Supinall had a hit out in, 1990. But I remember he called me after he went to Nashville, and he calls me one day, and he says, Gary, what are you doing? I said, well, nothing. He says, why don't you come to Nashville and see if I can help you out? I said, okay. So I went to Nashville thinking Doug was really doing something great in the music business. No, when I got there...
You wound up getting a J.O.B.
No, he already had a J.O.B. He was working for a maintenance man on a golf course.
Oh, my goodness. See, that's the thing with the music business. You never know. Some days are diamonds and some days are stones.
But this is what happened. Just like Garth Brooks, just like all the others, they went to Nashville and they threw them out. They weren't good enough. They went to Houston, Texas, and they got their break there.
Yeah, isn't that something?
It is, So.
And so, we've talked about your career a little bit, and we'll come back and talk about your career, but I'm sure the audience would like to hear Gary sing. Would you like to have Gary sing a song or two for you? Let him know that you want to hear him sing. There we go. Gary, go ahead.
All right.
What song you got picked out for us?
We're going to do one by Waylon Jennings called Good Hearted Woman. But I brought my words just in case.
Gary Welch, everybody, on Branson Radio Live. Right here on Highway 165 at the Uptown Cafe.
We're already having a little technical difficulties. I think you're going to have to, turn the volume up on it. Because we're not hearing anything.
There it is. I hear your band. They're coming down the street.
He's going to get it. Yeah.
Well, this radio show is a pioneer work, and we've had over 200,000 hits, and we are so pleased about that. And
I overheard James say it was like 280,000 now.
Yes.
It's
and
climbing.
So we're doing extremely well. And, with that kind of extreme numbers, we've got to regroup. And we've got a new sound man. His name is Steve. And we're so grateful that he's here.
He's got a nice sound going there. Steve, I'm going to come back there and because are you getting the volume up or are you just working on the sound?
There we go. I think we got it together.
He's getting there.
So he's going to back you up. But anyway, you're kind of my sidekick here on the show, Gary. And I'm so glad that you are.
You betcha.
And now you've appeared here in Branson with Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass, and that's kind of how we got together.
That's what got me here,
Yeah. So are you ready to start?
Yeah.
All right.
I believe we're ready. Hit it.
Take it, band. Gary Welch, everybody.
A long time forgotten with dreams that just fell by the way. The good life you promised ain't what she's living today. But she never complains of the bad times or the bad things he's done, Lord. She just talks about the good times they've had and all the good times to come. Here we go. You harmonize with me. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good time and man. She loves him in spite of his ways that she don't understand. And through teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. And this good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man. Did it snap?
I like the bright lights, you know that.
He likes bright lights and nightlife and good time and friends.
Oh, those good times and friends. Oh, my.
But when the party's all over, she'll welcome him back home again.
Just like the fool that she is.
Lord knows she don't understand him, but she does the best that she can. Sometimes
I do my best.
She's a good-hearted woman. Listen, loving that two-timing man.
He's working on 3.
She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his Mickey Mouse ways she don't understand.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
And through teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. Harmonize well. This good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man. Hit it one more time, yeah. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. I like saying this part. She loves him in spite of his Pluto ways. She don't understand, Pluto, Venus, right? Mars, okay. Men are from Venus. Lord knows she don't understand him, but she'll do the best that she can. We made those words up. She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man. Yeah, she's a good-hearted woman, loving a good-timing man.
Gary Welch, everybody.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Got something else planned for us? I'd love to hear you sing another one.
I do.
I didn't plan on singing with you, however.
It's called Your Man. It goes out to all the ladies who are in love.
I've been growing hair on my chin, but does that... I still look like a girl, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Okay. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Yeah. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite as strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. There's no hurry, don't you worry. We can take our time. Come a little closer, let's go over what I had in mind. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite as strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. Take it. Hey, I want to introduce you to the band. Boys in a Box. Yeah, right there. The kid's a great laugh.
Let's twang and his pickers.
Ain't nobody ever loved nobody the way that I love you. We're alone now. You don't know how long I wanted to. Lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. I never felt the feeling quite as strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man.
Yeah, Gary, that's a great song.
Well, thank you. Josh Turner. Take it on out, boys.
Look at the crowd here at the Uptown Cafe. Isn't this wonderful?
Yeah.
Well, you go ahead, Gary. You entertain here at the Uptown Cafe. What hours are you here?
I'm going to be here tomorrow starting about 11:30. Thank you. Yeah.
You can applaud him. That's all right. He deserves that. You bet. Oh, no, please stop. No, Gogs, please stop. No.
I did that on the show, and Dale said, you look like the robot on Will Robertson.
All over the map, right?
Yeah. Danger, danger.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow. Actually, I'm here Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but tomorrow I'll be here at 11:30 singing. I'll be here till about 2:30, or you get full. Yeah.
Whichever comes first.
Whichever comes first. And by the way, I want to tell you, folks, Dave came up with a great recipe in this restaurant.
David Good, the owner of the Uptown Cafe.
David
That's
Good.
right.
Only when you're on vacation, there's no calories in your food. Yeah.
Isn't that a bonus? Hey. That's why I look the way I do.
That's Dave's secret recipe.
Getting real slender here. Now, Gary, in the music business, you know, it takes cycles, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We up and down, but you know, we have a goal, and how many times have we quit that goal, but we just can't because it's so deep in us, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, a lot of people, you know, the audiences wonder, I'm sure, you know, and the whole point of Branson Radio Live is get to the heart of the entertainer and what really makes them tick and why they stay in the business, how they got started, and, you know, the pitfalls, but also the glory ride that goes along with it.
Yes, it is. The pitfalls is, you know, the desire is there, but it's so many, we have so many turn downs, so many no's, but it's the people that give us the drive, and they give us
people like this audience right here. Isn't that right? Yes, you betcha.
They give us the enthusiasm to move, to keep going. You know, the compliments, the applause, you know, how many people walk up to me and go, God, you suck. Not often, you know.
Not
often. And those that do, they're probably tone deaf.
Or
Karen,
there might be a little green-eyed monster in them.
Karen, you have a beautiful voice on, you know, and you harmonize well, and you do.
Thank you.
And,
I appreciate that.
But something happened to you. Let's talk about you for a minute.
Well, doggone, if we must.
Yes. I know you moved out.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
5 minutes plus.
Well, the gentleman in the audience, you know, knows me from Des Moines, Iowa. I used to entertain in Des Moines, but I'm a girl that grew up in a little town called Onawa, Iowa, O-N-A-W-A, and you're probably familiar with that. And it's about 70 miles. What direction from Omaha, Nebraska? East of Omaha, Nebraska. Well, my mother was a songwriter, and she tried to get her songs published through Acuff Rose Opryland in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, she heard me singing, you know, Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep, you know, and she had a brainstorm. She said, my daughter can sing, hallelujah, I don't have to hire anybody. So I started demoing her songs and sending them to Nashville, Tennessee. The good news is she got all her songs published through Acuff Rose Opryland. And so we're excited about that. And so I learned the music profession. While other kids were out playing, I was in singing. You know, and at first I kind of resented that as a little kid. But you know, today I am so thankful for that because it brought me into a vocation that I couldn't have chosen a better profession. I'm just so elated to be in the music business. And it was because of my mother that gave me that opportunity. So kids, if your mom and daddy want you to take lessons, take them, because later on in life they may benefit you, right? There's a little girl right there. I bet she's taking lessons right now, isn't she? She taking piano lessons? Well, now let's see. Let's talk about that, okay?
Karen, are you psychic? I didn't even see you talk to that table.
Sometimes. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Spencer Dale from Kansas City.
From Kansas City. And this is your daughter?
Lainey.
Lainey. Isn't she a doll? Man, she's cute. But anyway, so is she going to take lessons?
Yeah, she's going to take piano lessons. And then Hayden takes drums, and Jack takes piano.
Ooh, I see a group coming on.
A family band.
We got a lot of those here in town, you know, the Hughes, the Bretts, name some more, Gary, how many families we've got. Haygoods. Yeah, we've got a number of families, you know, so maybe we'll see you again before too long if you get really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're happy that you're, but see, the message that I want to give you, you already understood it, didn't you? Even though, you know, you get weary taking your lessons, just think of the big picture. Just say, someday I am going to be somebody in the music business if I don't get tired and if I don't have a bad attitude. But you don't look like you'd ever have a bad attitude. Do you ever have bad attitudes?
Not really.
She's got such a sweet smile. So this is wonderful to have the family here. And what do you see for these kids? I mean, is it just a fun thing or do you want to form a little group?
For right now, it's just fun, and they're all in sports, too, so we just keep them busy and active and keep them out of trouble.
Isn't having children wonderful? And you know you will keep them out of trouble by joining in and being a part of everything they do. So God bless you for that. It's great to have you here in Branson. Give them a round of applause. This little girl, she stood right up and talked to me. But anyway, Gary, you know, I was once little like her.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I didn't look like her, though.
But no, I got started doing that, singing my mom's songs. And you know, a lot of Loretta, hi, how are you? We've got Loretta and Tom here with us today. Glad to see you. But anyway, you know, I decided that, you know, a lot of people come up and ask me, well, how do you memorize all those songs? How do you do that? Well, you know, I don't give it a second thought because I learned it when I was younger, so it just comes second nature to me. You know, and so as I memorized her songs, then I got a big chance to sing with a group in Ottawa, Iowa that recorded Roll It Over Beethoven. You remember those guys?
What, when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I sang with that band in Ottawa, Iowa.
My goodness.
I did.
You know, Karen, I was being in the 5th grade, I remember we used to sing, you know, the class would sing, take time, like an hour, and have singing lessons, I guess you could call, or just sing. And so I remember the teacher walking down the aisle going, somebody's out of tune. And she looks at me and she says, you need to stop singing. Yes, believe it or not.
She picked on you, did she?
She hit me hard, and she says, you know what, you need to quit. You stop. And so I was like devastated, but it didn't stop me.
Right.
You know?
Right. And, you know, those kind of things, you know, you've got to be stronger than that. And, you know, and take constructive criticism, by the way, when you're learning along the way. Don't think that you're a know-it-all, because there are people that have really mentored me and helped me.
You always have room to grow.
That's right.
Your voice never stops developing. I've learned that.
That's exactly right. And so I went from Ottawa, Iowa. Then we moved to Newton, Iowa, the home of the Maid Tag Company. Anybody got a Maid Tag machine? Little show of hands. Our sound man's raising his hand, I think.
Okay.
You know, nice clean shirt you got there, bud. But anyway, Newton, Iowa was, you know, kind of a hub for entertainment. They had the Maytag Bowl and contests going on and all that kind of thing. Oh, I have no idea. It's one less since I left, though. But I used to go in and join these contests, the Bill Riley Talent Contest, and, you know, sing songs like Noah's Ark, you know, which some people are going to go see that show today, which is a great show, by the way. And so little bit by little bit, I grew in the music industry, and then I went to Nashville, Tennessee, because of my mother's songs, and I managed to get a Capitol recording contract back then when I was 29 years old, and I had fallen in love, and I gave up my recording contract. Can you say boo, Karen? 1, 2, 3. Boo, Karen. But, you know, I think along the way, it was meant to be. And I started entertaining in Des Moines, Iowa. And then I had a family of 4 children. I've got 3 boys and 1 girl. And I decided I was just going to, you know, take it on out and ease on down the road.
Did your husband make you drop the recording contract? Did you do that on your own?
No, my love for him made me do that.
And
I wanted to have a family.
Ouch.
You know, and but I'm so glad I did. I'd be terribly lonely today if it wasn't for my family.
Just like me. Yeah, I never had that family.
So I decided to go from Des Moines. If you ever wondered where I went, this is where I went. You finally found me.
No, I'm talking about.
So that's where we met. I came into Branson, Missouri, and met a fellow by the name of Bill Daly, who was a real prominent theater owner, and he hired a lot of great singers and talent here in town. And so he said to me, I got to tell you this scenario. I got to stand up to tell you this scenario. Okay, here I am, a nobody from no man's land, right? And I've got 3 kids now. One of my kids is in the Army. I signed him into the Army, and because that's what he wanted to do. And he's still there, by the way, and he just became Chief Warrant Officer. So it was a good decision at the time. And but at any rate, you know, I decided I'm going to come into Branson, Missouri, and a guy by the name of Jerry Foster, who was a songwriter for entertainment like Conway Twitty and all those big name artists, he said, Karen, he said, come on into town. He said, I'll have a job. It'll be here waiting for you at a theater behind Campbell's Ozark Jubilee. So I was rolling to town in my pedal pushers, weighing about 50 more pounds than I do, straw shoes, hair out to here, kids, you know, and the youngest was 10. And I'm rolling into, he's driving, I think, oh, finally in Branson, and I'm driving into the theater parking lot, and he's driving out in a U-Haul. His show didn't make it. And here I was, no job, 3 kids, and only 1 month of apartment rent paid. And I was a little scared. Well, one girl says, you don't give up. She said, don't give up. That's the key word in this business, Gary.
Yes, don't give up. That's right.
So anyway, so I go, and they say, talk to Bill Daly. So I go over to a place called the Wildwood Flower, which is now what? What's the Wildwood Flower now?
Oh, it's been everything. It's the Shake It Up.
The Shake It Up.
It was the Shake It Up. What is it now?
I have no clue what it is.
It's a purple building.
It's a purple building. But anyway, so I went over there, and this place was beautiful. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. It had a floating dance floor, and it had brass railing everywhere, and
Did
green
Bill own
plush
that?
carpet. Oh, yes.
Yes, he owned that.
And Janet Daly, his wife, by the way, is a prominent romance writer. She's written a lot of books. Anybody ever heard of Janet Daly? Oh, yes. And she writes these love stories. I mean, they're kind of sizzling hot. You know what I'm saying?
I've never read one, but okay,
man.
I'll take your word.
So anyway, I decided that I would go over to talk to Bill Daly, because what choice did I have? I had no work. So I go over to the Wildwood Flower, and I set my children down in the foyer there, and I go up to the girl that's standing at the little acceptance counter, and I said, my name is Karen Berka, and I'm looking for a job. This is what happened to me. And everybody told me to come and see Bill Daly. So I said, I'm here. She said, I said, I've got my book, my portfolio. She says, well, why don't you go talk to him yourself? Now, you got to understand, I look terrible. I had just driven 8 hours and trying to take care of kids. So anyway, so I got in there, and he looks at me, and I laid my portfolio down in front of me. He said, I'm never hiring another blankety-blank girl singer as long as I live, because he'd had bad luck with me. I didn't know that. But anyway, he said, after he looked through my portfolio, he said, there's the band. Let me hear you sing. So I got up and sang, and I got down. Not to brag on myself, but the Lord is awfully good sometimes.
Oh, the Lord is great.
And I had done a lot of praying. And so anyway, I got down off the stage. I did House of the Rising Sun, and they did the lighter thing and stood up. And I don't know if they had, hot pokers in the chair or what, but I was glad that they did. So anyway, I got down and talked to Bill Daly, and he said, tomorrow night, too soon to start. And I have been in Branson ever since, not late 88. So that's my story about coming into Branson. Then I met you and worked with Danny Davis in the Nashville Brass. And
and Danny, how long did you sing with Danny?
Oh, I sang with him for a season, and then I went over to sing and form the fabulous Elvettes behind the Elvis impersonator, Aaron Patrick from Las Vegas, and we entertained down at the Legends Theater.
What year were you with Danny?
Oh, I was with Danny in 88.
Okay, because I went to work for him in 91.
Yeah, and so our careers are kind of parallel. But you know what? I'm ready to hear you sing again.
You are?
Yes, I am. Anybody want to hear Gary Welch sing again? What a wonderful entertainer.
Pull up it'll say the first set, and we'll do a George Strait number.
I like George Strait. Anybody George Strait fans out here? All right, you're listening to Branson Radio Live, and after Gary sings a number, we'll recognize our sponsors.
We might be doing that now.
All right.
Well, my name is Gary Welch. This is Karen Berka. We are doing a show here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and today is Friday. How many folks are on? Hey, I want to take a survey right quick. How many folks are on from out of town? Raise your hand. How many folks are from Branson? Raise your hand. That concludes our survey. Oh, we have 3. Okay, but hey, you're outvoted. Is it working there, Mr. Steve?
All right.
We're ready.
Gary Welch, everybody, on Branson Radio Live.
Nickels and dimes, memories and wine. She's on his mind once again. That same old stew, the same old food. Played by the rules but didn't win. And there's an old love in his heart that he can't lose. He's tried forgetting, but he knows that it's no use. He's got a fool-hearted memory. It won't let him see that she walked out the door. He's got a fool-hearted memory. He sits patiently here every night so it can fool him more. She was his girl, his only word. That string of pearls that slipped away. 1,000 lives, 1,000 times. He doesn't mind what they say. He fills the jukebox, then he plays that same old song. He fills his glass, then he turns her memory on. He's got a foolhardy memory. It won't let him see that she walked out the door. He's got a foolhardy memory. He sits patiently here every night so it can fool him more. He's got a foolhardy memory. It won't let him see that she walked out the door. He's got a foolhardy memory. He sits patiently here every night so it can fool him more.
Gary Welch, everybody. And Gary, when are you performing here at the Uptown?
You. Hey, I'll be here tomorrow at 11:30. I'll be singing for you, and just me, myself, and my guitar and my banjo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my
Oh, yeah, that's a Buck Trent. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just do it without the thumbs. Oh, yeah.
We might have you back later on the show. I really love listening to
thanks,
you sing.
Gary.
And upcoming after the sponsors, we're going to recognize Jimmy Rochelle from the Rock and Roll is Here to Stay show. So stay tuned to Branson Radio Live.
Well, here's hoping you enjoyed the Branson Radio Live programming today. We'll be posting our shows every Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. And because we're not able to go to church like we used to, we're going to throw in some gospel on Sunday every once in a while. So be looking forward to those, and you can reminisce about your favorite entertainers. And bear in mind, some of the entertainers are here but not performing because of the COVID situation, but we'll keep you informed as to who's appearing here and when. Just reach out to me on my email at berkabroadcasting@gmail.com for any questions that you might have, and we'll respond accordingly. And until then, remember that we love you. We want you to come into Branson when it's safe for you to do so, and so we'll keep you posted on the upcoming events here in Branson. So enjoy your day, be safe, and remember, these shows are from 2009 on up, so they're not current day. They're just to reminisce with and just enjoy and just comfort you and give you a feel good. So thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoy the shows.